Hi there, Facebookers. Kamal Fernandez here with the puppy. I'm going to do a little live training session, and I thought I would just go over some of the things that's been going on with her to help people understand about raising puppies, hopefully to not develop any long-term issues. So hopefully I'm coming out live. I'll wait and see if anybody joins me. Excellent, got somebody coming, a couple of people joining. So let's have a look. If anybody watching could just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me, that'd be great. Before I start talking away. Hello, puppy. Good girly. So, before we get started. Alright, hopefully you can hear me. Okay, that should be good. Alrighty, so, obviously I've had the puppy a little while, and from last Wednesday, I was up filming the second series of the Dog Academy, so which is super exciting. Really fantastic to be back doing that project, and the dogs that we've got are really challenging, so we've got to really step our game up. So that's going to be super exciting. That will be out next year. I know people have been asking, which is fantastic. So working with Sean Brown, Victoria Stilwell, Joe Pay, and obviously the team that put the project together initially. So super excited about that. This little gem came with me, obviously. She didn't do anything on set, but she had lots of great experiences. So I wanted to talk to that point because it's really obviously important to think about these things when you're socialising your puppy. So obviously it was a massive experience for her travelling. It was filmed up in Shropshire, so a big travel for her. So I planned my day obviously to make sure that she had her needs met prior. When I got to, we had somewhere to stay, which was for the dogs as well. We had an Airbnb, which was fantastic, which meant that she could have a lot of time not being obviously crazy, etc. So that was a huge thing for her to go through as a puppy. Obviously, me and Sean were staying in the same location, so that meant that obviously I had somebody to socialise the puppy with, which was fantastic, and he had his big dog, his German Shepherd Cross Husky, Caesar, who's got a phenomenal temperament. So she met another dog, which was a great experience to have, who showed perfect interaction, so I shared some of that on social media. So that was a really good little life lesson for her. Obviously she met Sean, and she met a couple of members of the crew. I didn't overexpose her this weekend because that was her first little experience of being taken, overnight in my van, or certainly travelling that distance and then staying in a new location, obviously from being at home. So lots of different changes, and the tendency is to, people have their puppies and they take them to a sort of a family occasion, etc., or to a friends. They want to overexpose them. So I was really cautious about how much exposure she had. I didn't sort of have her meet too many people. While she has an absolutely fantastic temperament, I don't want her to get overstimulated. She actually loves people, and I don't want her to get over-aroused long-term when she sees people, and therefore that become part of her pattern. So there's a balance always with puppies to obviously build their confidence, but also create the dog that you long-term want to live with. So she met a couple of members of the team. She obviously met Sean, and I think that was about it. She went on little walks with my dogs, which was great because it was a private place that we were at, so I could start to have her interact with them. Obviously, there is a level of risk when I do that. The place that I could do that is private, so I know it's not open to the public. But like with all with puppies of this age, there is a level of risk. So always consider that, and you've got to do what's comfortable for you. She's met all my dogs now in an open space, and they're like shrugging their shoulders like, oh yeah, puppy, whatever. They're not interested as such with her. So that's really great. That was a real great opportunity. So lots of great experiences for her, but that's something that you need to really think about when you get a puppy. What situations that you take them in. My puppies obviously have to travel in my vehicle a lot, and there's going to be periods of time when they're going to be in the vehicle settling. So she was with Sonic and Sugar in a crate. She was fine with them. They don't take any notice of her. Some people might not have that provision. You might only have one dog, in which case then you need to be thinking about taking chewy toys and snuffle mats, etc. I took toys, etc. with me, chews, and so forth, so that she could have them when we were when we were on downtime, I would stick a sort of toys down with her. So those things I had in my with me so that she could be occupied in the evening. So thinking about that, if you've got a family occasion, and you're going away for the weekend or whatever, and if that's something that you want to do with your puppies, you need to plan those things because they're all training opportunities of the dog that you're going to eventually have long term, that you can take into somebody else's home and be settled, etc. So possibly take a crate with you. I didn't use a crate with her up there just because obviously I had my van. When we were in the house, she was the loose with us. I did have a crate with me. I didn't use it actually. And then of an evening, she was with me again. She has been here, or she was in my vehicle, either or. So depending on what I was doing. So lots of good experiences for her. But consider that when you're raising your puppy. What are they going to have to encounter in their life, and start to work on that from day one. So as I said, she's met Caesar as a new dog. And I think that's it. I think that's the only dog. Yeah, that's the only dog that she met in that experience. So again, being very strategic about the experiences they have. I don't want my puppies to be over aroused by dogs or people. I want them to have eventually the whatever response. So I'm cultivating that. Hence why there's not a necessity to meet every single person and every single dog. So I'm going to do a little training session with her. Moving on to what I'd be doing in laying some foundation. So I'm going to work on some play, and I'm going to start her some back end movement where she's got her front feet on a target and she's pivoting. I'll see how it goes. She's very keen to get started. And the other thing she is doing, she's getting a little bit bitey. As you can see, she likes to bite my hand. You can see how I'm handling it, just ignoring it and letting her figure out that doesn't get reinforced. Okay? So I'm going to just wait for her to stop. Good girl. And then I'm going to put my toy down, because she knows the toy's around. Get that toy, yeah, nice. So her toy play is obviously really, really coming on nicely. You can see the toys that I'm using. This is a great one. It's a bungee toy, so it means that she can move away from me if she wants, but I still control the toy. People want to pull their puppies in, which can deter the puppy from playing. You want to think in a litter of puppies. If a puppy got a toy, it's likely that their siblings would want to take it off them or tug with them. So they would naturally want to be further away. So I'm letting her, let me just move back a bit. I'm letting her move away if she wants to. Good girly. But then obviously I've got the toy on a long handle, which means that I can just touch her and let her move away. Okay, so building up her confidence, of good, yes, of interacting with me and being comfortable with coming into my space, but it not being a good girl. Ooh. I like to do that. I like to touch her so she doesn't always think that I'm going to take it off her. Ooh. Swap hands. Oh, yeah. Oh, she let go. She let go. She let go. Get it. Good. Nice. So, nice little play there. I'm going to switch over to food. Good. And I'm going to do my little session. Oops. Thank you. Oh, I think I left it in the other room. Haha. Let's go and get that. That's bad planning. That's good. Let's get some treats. Come on, let's get some sweets. So, my treats were outside. That's not a bad thing, certainly for her, because she's so into her food now. So to avoid the conflict, which I know is an ongoing entity with her. So I'm going to work on just 2 feet on this little item. So you can see that she wants the food. So I'm going to, again, shape this. And it's really funny because the platform work that I have done with her shaping her, she's now starting to offer that with things in the house, which is when she's bored or she wants your attention or you're not looking at her. She does that now as it's quite funny really what she'll stand on. I've got a box that was in an Amazon package, and she just went and sat on it last night when she was bimbling around. I can't think what I was doing, but to get my attention. So very, very cute, aren't you? Right, let's do this. Good girl, nice, good. So just reward for investigating. Wait her out, so see if she acknowledges the item. Yes, good girl, super. Good, nice, good girl. Okay, good girl. Break, good girl. So let's bring it a bit closer. Nice, good. So she looks at it or investigates it. I feel, yeah, nice, good girl, super. Break. Give her a bit more, see what happens. Good girl, nice. So she came back into work there, or she came back into offer me behaviour. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was investigating the item. So you've got to be quite lenient. Yeah, nice. When you first shape something, if the dog, and certainly if they wander off and they're not sure, you want to reinforce them for the choice to come back and try again. Break. Good, let's go again. Get my full breado. Good girl. Nice. Good. So she's thinking about it. She's offering a little bit of paw movement. I'm going to move this back, shuffle this back, because I don't think you can quite see. Yeah. Yep. Good. So she offered paw definitely on it. Wait, come here. Let's move this back a bit further so you guys can see. Let's go here. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Good girl. Nice. Good girl. Super. A little bit of frustration there, so I'm going to straighten her out. She sniffed it quite a few times. I want a little bit more than that now. Let's see what happens. How do I get those treats? Good girl, super. So she sniffed again. I gave her a little treat. I don't want her to keep marking sniffing or reinforcing sniffing, so I need to move it on. So she's lost her focus a little bit. She's still trying, but she's not quite sure what I want her to do, which is normal. So I'm not going to rush in and help her. Good. So if she gets a bit stuck, I'll just pick the item up. This is the bit that people often panic about. And the dog not doing what there appears to be much, but she's, yes. Ooh. Good girl. So she's still sniffing it. I want to move that on. Good. She looked at it. Yay. She's just still thinking, good girl. So she could be doing a little bit of getting a bit stressed now, so I'm going to just read that in the dog. I'm not going to panic, because she's scratching. She's thinking, oh, how do I get the treats? Her brain's hurting. Yeah. Now, the easiest thing was to relure her, and I don't want to do that at this stage. I want to develop the dog's ability to problem solve and build in tenacity. Good girl. Nice. So she looked at it then. Super. Nice. Good girl. Break. Good girl. So that's the bit that often people get stuck on. Yeah. Good. Yay. So you can see a little burst more of enthusiasm. She goes, oh, I get it. There's something going on here. Good. So I'm going to pick it up. Good. I missed a click then, an opportunity, because she actually put a paw on it. So I'm going to redo that again and just be a little bit more mindful. We all make mistakes in training. Yay. So she's a little bit not sure about what I wanted to do. She knows it's something to do with that, but she can't quite figure it out. So she's not going back into the item, so I'm going to think on my feet a little bit. Good. Well, I thought she was going to get it then. Yay! So she put her paw on it. That was nice. Super. She did it more by accident, more than being aware. Break. Good. Let's try again. Nice. Good. So I'm going to manipulate it. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer because she's actually jumping on me. So I'm going to see what happens. Yay, super. Good girl. Super pup. Nice. Break. Okay, so bring it a bit closer. See what. Yay, super. So just by me bringing that a little bit closer, because she's actually jumping on me. Yeah, you could, at this moment, she absolutely doesn't realise that she's stepping on the item. Okay, break. Okay, let's see if she knows what she does now. See if she then. Oh, more luck than judgment. Good, yeah, that was a little bit fluky from my part because I picked up the treat off the item. Good, get it? Break. See what happens again. I'll let her think a bit. This is hard for your little brain, isn't it? Good girl, super, nice. Good. Good girl. Oh, yes, lovely, lovely, lovely one. That was good. Good. Break. So wait her out a bit. Notice I haven't clicked anything as yet, and that's deliberate because she's not actually aware that she's doing the behaviour, and I really want to say to click. But almost. Can you ever wait then? Yep. That's better when that's better when there's a definite step on. Now she stepped backwards. It was more again. Good. That she, okay, break. She fell onto it rather than actually making a conscious decision to step on it. But let's see what happens now. Yep. Nice. Super. Good. Break. You can see she's very deliberately walking around it. Almost. Yep. Good. Super. That's nice. Break. Yep. Nice. So I've got a little behaviour chain where it's jump at me, jump back. That's okay. I'm going to roll with that for the minute. Good girl. Break. See what she does. Change the angle slightly, see if she figures out that's what I wanted to do. So let's throw another angle. Yep. Nice. Now that one I'm going to stop on. Good girl. Super. That was it. Nice. So you could see her processing and going through the whole spectrum of behaviours, not quite knowing, and then the end one was the one that I really wanted. Now, I'm not going to push it for any more, because that was probably a little bit, could it be luck, could it be her intentionally doing it, I'm not sure. So at this moment, good girl, break. So I will obviously, I would review my video, and I would make a decision about what I could adjust in my training. Good girl, that was really good. Well done. That was really clever. You, that was hard for your little brain, wasn't it? Hard for your little brain. Hey, you. Ha ha ha. Let's get you into some play. So I'm just going to play with her for a second, just to sort of obviously end my session and alleviate any tension or stress that she might have felt. People always get reluctant when they do shaping, and when you have a dog that doesn't understand yet to offer behaviour, they can panic about it. And I want to, at this stage, start introducing to my dogs little things where they have to problem solve and think, and because long term that will build their confidence. Good girl, well done, you did really well on that. Clever baby, clever baby. Yeah, okay, I do. Let's have a look if there's any questions. Let's have a look. Might be a couple. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. So when you break you are not rewarding her with a treat, but you are luring her away with the food. Yeah, so break is going to be my release word, Claire. So I'm not feeding her. I did initially, when I first started teaching her that, but now I'm just using it as a release and I'm luring her off. She does actually release on it now, but because I want to focus on the behaviour I'm training, I'm just going to lure her off to make her come off it and help her. I love it as well. I love to watch them work things out. I love their brains really figuring stuff out. And often people panic about it, certainly when the dog starts to show, little displacement or avoidance behaviours. They get a little bit anxious. But often when dogs learn, irrespective of the method that you use, there's an element of thinking. When you teach something new, you want them to be aware of what they're learning. So often people will panic. Now, what I would do now is I would review my training session. I'd look at the video and I'd look at what could I adjust. Was I asking too much, etc., and decide if the dog's response or feedback to me was because I was making it too challenging, etc., was I not rewarding enough, etc. I could think if she was really, shut down and worried, I might think, okay, I might take a different approach to it. But I was more than happy in that little session to let her figure things out and let her problem solve. That in the long term will make her, because she's quite a spunky, busy little dog, and she's not naturally inclined to be a problem solver, is what I see of her. So I want her to develop that skill. Okay? How do you manage if they bark a lot? If my girl gets frustrated and barks a sort of behaviour, I worry that I'm rewarding the barking as well as the behaviour. Yeah, so if they're barking incessantly and that becomes a pattern, the chances are is that what you're probably asking them is probably too much. So I would say, obviously just me moving that bowl, I don't know, maybe an inch or so away from my legs was too far. So I brought it closer because she was fluking jumping on me. So I sort of used that to get her to jump on the item. So think about how much you split the behaviour down. Think about the setup, think about the environment you're training, think about the reinforcement that you're using. So she doesn't bark at this stage, but she definitely got a little bit vocal. I've had other dogs in the past that have been barkers and get frustrated and bark very easily. If barking is something I'm going to eradicate, I'd actually probably have we're going to just stop training. And then I'd review and look at what I'm doing and see if I can make it clearer to the dog. Some breeds are predisposed to barking, so I'd be almost have a zero tolerance if they barked. Stop the training session, and so they soon learn that barking doesn't get reinforced. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. So if during a session the dog gets too frustrated, would you break it off or play, or just remove the item and try after a few seconds? So if the puppy got frustrated and I wasn't sure why, or I wasn't clear why, I'd absolutely just stop my training session. I wouldn't necessarily play with them. I'd just stop the session, maybe chuck some treats down and then look at it again and look at my mechanics, my handling, my timing. For her, for what I was asking, I was happy to sort of persevere through. Good girl. Good. And I'm happy to allow her to figure it out what I want. Can you have your toy? Not my hand. There, have your little toy. I'm happy for, in what I was asking, I was more than happy for her to get a little bit frustrated and have to figure things out. Again, as I said, there is a skill that needs to be developed when you're shaping, about reading the dog, knowing if you're asking too much, watching and reading and learning about how they think. So I'm learning about how her brain works, and her as a specific dog. Good girl, you got your little toy. Good girlie. So I'm doing, that's another little pointer. So she's got her toy now and she wants to trophy it around. I'm just praising her for it because I want her to understand that I'm not interested in the toy. You got your little baby. Bee's got a bee. Good girl, Bee's got a bee. Good girlie. So, so shaping, what shaping does for me is it allows me to learn about the dog before I teach something very specific. So whilst this is a skill that I can draw on for other behaviours, at this stage it's really learning about her. So what I'm learning is that she's doesn't naturally want to think, she just wants to do. She's a doer, which is brilliant for a little dog. I quite like that. That tenacious, let's just have a go. I think that's something that will be in her strength in the long term. Good girl. But obviously I want her to be able to be thoughtful and to understand, to think. I think she's going to be quite a spunky little dog. So I need to teach her to think in a heightened state of arousal, because couple of things I've seen of her is that she loves motion, and she'll absolutely be a dog that she'd want to chase my dogs, 150%. She'd want to chase the collies. I could see her showing a high level of interest when she went out for me. If whilst they'd been for a walk, and I then was walking her with them afterwards, whenever they did any excited movement or quicker movement, she definitely showed a level of interest. I think it will only be a matter of time before she's wanting to chase them. So I need to, and when she does that, she naturally also wants to grab and bite them, which is quite typical of puppies and certainly the breed. Not maliciously, but more out of this excited, manic grabbing. So that tells me that she's going to be a dog that's going to get excited with motion, and she'll probably be a dog that gets quite aroused by motion. So I need to put into her early the ability to think while she's excited, so that by doing shaping, I can use that skill further down the line. So yeah, just a little session with the baby. She's an absolute sweetheart. I'm elated with her. She's super confident. She's got a lovely, temperament. I think she's absolutely adorable. She's everything that, I'd ever want in a puppy and more. Other than this, manic biting. Good, that's better. Good. So, with a breed like this, a dog like this size, I'm going to just block the biting and use it on another toy. And to be truthful, even with my stronger breeds, like with my Mannies and my Schnauzer, and my boxer and my working bred dogs, I would use the same technique. If the puppy was really incessantly biting, which you get with Mannies, I would just be very much, when I trained and interacted with them, kitted up with lots and lots of different toys so that they didn't have the opportunity to bite at me. Or a meaty bone. So if I was talking to you guys, I'd have a bone here for my Manny puppy and let the puppy eat that, so it isn't always rehearsing, grabbing at things. That's another alternative that you can use. Hey pup, let's have a look. Any more questions? This was great. Love learning. Thank you. Do you have any plans for what sport activity based on what you've seen of her so far? No, I mean, her mum does agility, and obviously I've done agility with my Spitz as a small dog. But I really don't know. I tend to, what I've learned, and certainly with the dogs I have, I just train the foundations all the same. And then when I see an area that I think the dog will enjoy, I'm at that point in my career, I'm in a very fortunate position that I can alternate and change sports depending on what my dogs do. So, what my dogs like. So I will probably pick a sport that she seems to like as opposed to one that I want to do with her. Obviously, naturally, she probably would be quite, probably lean towards agility, but we'll see, really. I have that ethos with my dogs now. I'm in a fortunate position in that I've done, various dog sports and have some knowledge of them. My ethos now is, what does the dog want to do? I'm happy to do what they want to do. I love training dogs. I've been fortunate to have some success in various dog sports, and I love them all, to be truthful. So, you know what, she can dictate. So, but not everybody has that. Some people do have a specific sport they want to train for, and I absolutely understand that. And they then pick and select the dog accordingly. Me, I have enough dogs and training different things. It doesn't really matter to me. So, we will see. We'll let her decide. Yeah, but. Right, I'm going to go because she still wants entertaining. And there'll be obviously some more lives this week. Thursday, I think I'm travelling, so Thursday and Friday will be probably not, depending on our timing. But yeah, I look forward to showing you more stuff with this little girl. All right, take care, everybody. Enjoy whatever you're doing. See you later.